This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
(8:45). This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news, edited by Catherine Pereira and read by Indrani Senanayake. The headlines. A full-time radio educational channel will begin on Monday. A Child and Women Protection Committee will be set up at local government body level. Measures will be taken to accelerate the construction of the Pahala Malwatuoya Reservoir. 160 COVID deaths have been reported today. 70% dengue cases were reported in the Western Province. News from overseas, Sydney lockdown extended statewide as Australia faces worst COVID episode. A full-time radio channel to uplift the education of children will commence for the first time. This program will be implemented by the Ministry of Education and the media under the government move to fulfill the education needs of children through the media. This channel will be broadcast on 102.1 and 102.3 FM frequencies of the SLBC. It is named Vision FM and will begin on Monday. The channel will be implemented from 4 a.m. to 8 p.m. daily. 65% of the program has been allocated for subject-based education. In addition, 6 education channels will be initiated through PEO TV next week. A Child and Women's Protection Committee will be established in all government bodies. It is expected to complete the establishment of such committees within a month. The support of OICs, divisional secretaries and government officials will be sought. The objective of this move is to minimize child and women violations and to protect them. Construction work of the Pahala Malwatuoya Reservoir will be expedited. This is the largest reservoir being constructed in the Rajarata area, utilizing local engineering technology. The objective of this move is to develop the paddy harvest for power and energy generation and to provide irrigational waters to farmers. The estimated cost of the project is 22 billion rupees. Through the implementation of this project, it is expected to cultivate 18,000 hectares in the Mannar district. In addition, the water supply will be provided to 1,053 hectares of land for the Yellow and Maha season cultivation. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Get a personal loan for your marriage, education or housing within 24 hours with People's Bank Digital Banking.
We continue with local news. The Ministry of Health confirmed that 2,423 persons have tested positive for the coronavirus so far today. All new cases are associated with the New Year COVID-19 cluster. The new development brings the total number of COVID-19 cases confirmed in the country thus far to 350,693. At present, more than 37,500 virus-infected patients are being treated at hospitals and treatment centres across the island. The tally of total recoveries reached 307,345 today, as 2,717 more patients were discharged after recovering from the virus. 160 COVID deaths have been reported today. The National Dengue Eradication Unit says that 70% of dengue cases have been reported in the Western Province. Accordingly, 17,108 dengue patients have been identified during the past 6 months. Specialist doctor of the unit, Himali Herat said that dengue fever is also increasing rapidly. The prison department has decided to suspend visitors meeting inmates temporarily due to the fast spreading of the COVID virus. Opportunities will not be given for lawyers to meet inmates for court cases. Media spokesman of prisons, Chandana Ekanaika, said that arrangements have been made to submit relevant documents under the health guidelines. Next, we have a look at the main news story.
Get a personal loan for your marriage, education or housing within 24 hours with People's Bank Digital Banking. People's Bank Digital Banking, your ultimate convenience.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
On to the main news story. The Association of Specialist Doctors of Kidney Diseases says that most of the kidney patients have become victims of the coronavirus. Chairman of the association, Specialist Dr. Anura Hevagi Gamage, said that if they are infected with the disease, the complications for them will also increase more than other infected persons. Therefore, it is compulsory for kidney patients to take both doses of the vaccine. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Health says an island-wide program will be implemented to care for COVID-infected persons at their homes under medical supervision. That was the main news story. Watchlight follows.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
On to Watchlight. Insurance of vehicle revenue licenses in the Sabaragamu and Central provinces have been suspended due to the rapid surge in COVID-19 cases and fatalities in the country. This was announced in separate notices issued by the Chief Secretary to the Sabaragamu province and the Deputy Chief Secretary of the Central province. Thereby, the Motor Traffic Department's head office and divisional secretariats in the Central province will not issue vehicle revenue licenses for vehicles registered in the Central province from the 17th of August to the 15th of September. That came to you in Watchlight. A bulletin of world news will follow, and first the headlines. Sydney lockdown extended statewide as Australia faces worst COVID episode. Rwandan president and Arsenal fan Paul Kagame frustrated by defeat. Dengue cases crossed 3,000 mark this month in Bangladesh. Australian police hiked fines for people breaking lockdown rules in Sydney and the rest of its home state today, and strict stay-at-home orders were extended statewide amid a record jump in daily COVID-19 infections. State police will fine up to 5,000 Australian dollars anyone breaching stay-at-home orders or for lying to contact tracing officials, said State Premier Gladys Berejiklian. Previously, breaching quarantine orders had carried a 1,000 Australian dollar fine. Locally transmitted infections surged by a record 466 over the previous 24 hours, eclipsing the previous daily height of 390 set yesterday. Rwandan president and Arsenal fan Paul Kagame has vented his frustration at the club's shock defeat by a newly promoted club on the opening day of the English Premier League season. Brentford, after a 74-year absence from top-tier football, beat Arsenal 2-0. Mr. Kagame often comments on the Gunners, a club sponsored by his government. After yesterday's away game, he tweeted, "We just must not excuse or accept mediocrity. A team has to build with purpose to win, win, win." At least 257 people with dengue fever were admitted in hospital in the country in 24 hours till 8 a.m. today. With them, the number of dengue cases crossed the 3,000 mark in just 14 days of August, which indicates the first rising trend of the mosquito-borne disease. At least 3,244 people were hospitalized in August so far, while the number was 2,286 in July, 272 in June, and 43 in May, according to the control room of Directorate General of the Health Services in Bangladesh. To end this bulletin of world news, the headlines again. Sydney lockdown extended statewide as Australia faces worst COVID episode. Rwandan president and Arsenal fan Paul Kagame frustrated by defeats, and dengue cases crossed 3,000 mark this month in Bangladesh. Next we take a look at development news.
Development News is brought to you by
Quality matters than price. So as an engineer, I recommend Melba RB500. It's made with virgin billets using the latest technology. Melba RB500, number one in Sri Lanka. Truly Sri Lankan.
Win lakhs and lakhs with CIB Janajaya. 40% discount for your bills till 15th of August. 6 hand tractors at the Grand Row. CIB Janajaya.
On to development news. 3 towns in the Mathale district will be developed. This program is being initiated under the government's 100 Town Development Program. The governor of the province, Lalit U. Gamage, said that 20 million rupees has been allocated in this regard. The program is being implemented by the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development Authority. That was development news. Next, sports news.
Development News was brought to you by
Quality matters than price. So as an engineer, I recommend Melba RB500. It's made with virgin billets using the latest technology. Melba RB500, number one in Sri Lanka. Truly Sri Lankan.
Win lakhs and lakhs with CIB Janajaya. 40% discount for your bills till 15th of August. 6 hand tractors at the Grand Row. CIB Janajaya.
On to sports news. England has scored 290 runs for 5 wickets in the first innings of the Test cricket match played between England and India. Meanwhile, the West Indies team has scored 251 runs for 8 wickets for the first innings of the first Test match played between Pakistan and the West Indies. The Pakistan team scored only 217 runs in the first innings. Well, that was a look at sports news. Business news is up next.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Savings account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply. Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
Expo 2020 Dubai will be held for 6 months, and Sri Lanka too will be participating at a specially designed and dedicated pavilion in the Opportunity District of the Expo Village. The pavilion, with its water-based theme, was designed by a team from the University of Moratuwa and has been recognized as one of the best designs at Expo 2020 Dubai, resulting in the Sri Lankan pavilion being constructed on a complimentary basis by the Expo organizers. That was business news. Economic news is up next.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money. Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Savings account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Economic news. A program to set up a Satosa Institute will be implemented in the Galle district. The objective of this move is to provide facilities for the public to purchase goods and concessionary rates. Opportunities will also be made for rural people to easily purchase goods for their daily needs. That was economic news. Finally, a look at the weather reports.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Weather report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
The weather report. The Met Department says several spells of showers will occur in the western, Sabaragamuwa, central and northwestern provinces and in the Galle and Mathura districts. Showers or thunder showers will occur at several places in the northern, eastern and Uva provinces after 2 p.m. That was the weather report.
Weather report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
To end tonight's news broadcast, look at the headlines again. A full-time radio educational channel will begin on Monday. A Child and Women's Protection Committee will be set up at local government body level. Measures will be taken to accelerate the construction work of the Pahala Malwatu Reservoir. 160 COVID deaths have been reported today. 70% dengue cases were reported in the Western Province. And news from overseas, Sydney lockdown extended statewide as Australia faces worst COVID episode. That ends tonight's news broadcast.